Laundering cancer, with respect to tobacco, specifically cigarette smoking. Tobacco provides nicotine. In small amounts, it is a stimulant, and the people want to be stimulated. In moderate amounts, nicotine is a poison, causing nerve and muscle damage. It is also used in pesticides. The people find themselves in a love triangle with tobacco and cancer. The people want the nicotine from tobacco. The chemicals in the processed tobacco promote cancer, and the cancer feeds on the people. The medical industry breaks into this vicious cycle with a public mission to develop a cure. The people are the victims. The medical industry is the laundering facilitator, harvesting enormous sums of money. They turn the laundering conduit into a marketable commodity. The tobacco companies willingly play the part of the laundering villain. Tobacco contains 7,000 chemicals, 1% of which cause cancer. The chems provide a swirling pool of obfuscation to protect the villain from lawsuits. Now that the laundering ingredients have been identified, let's take a closer look at the delivery mechanisms. Which is better, cigarettes or cigars? One cigar is roughly equal to a pack of cigarettes, with respect to tobacco and nicotine. However, one pack of cigarettes has the harmful effects of 5 cigars. Therefore, smoking cigars is better than smoking cigarettes by 80%. However, the problems move from lung cancer to lip and gum cancer. Smoking a pipe is better on your lungs, but increases tongue cancer. Chewing tobacco is the worst, introducing bone cancer. E-cigs are an unknown quantity. The expelled water vapor still contains chemicals opening the door to secondhand vaping concerns, and the e-cig user increases pneumonia exposure. The shift from lung problems deal with saliva breaking down the chems and partially digesting the product. Chewing tobacco contains salts to scratch the gums to increase nicotine absorption. This repetitive damage forms cysts and cankers ripe for serious infection. Cancer concerns focus on the tobacco, which is a natural substance. It is important to note sugarcane is also a natural substance. Not used in moderation, it rots teeth, gums, and even the jawbone, just like chewing tobacco. Sugarcane harvesters will often chew on small canes while they work, and end up with all the same repetitive damage accelerated by digestion, which gets us back to saliva hindering the safety of cigars and pipes. Natural comparisons like this help protect the tobacco companies, and what gets ignored in the melee is the paper used to package the product. Cigars are wrapped by tobacco leaves, while the modified cigarette tobacco is wrapped in paper. That is the key difference between the two products. Prior to 1990, paper is bleached using elemental chlorine. The concern is the production of dioxins released into the environment, a persistent cancer-causing chemical. Chlorine bleaching was phased out by 2001, but this is for paper manufacturers. It might not include the cigarette manufacturers who would then be admitting to this carcinogen in their product, not natural to the product. Chlorine-free bleaching also introduces an entire family of peroxides. The two bleaching methods and everything in between cause extreme chemical burns. Chlorine and peroxide residue on the cigarette paper is being vaporized and inhaled into the lungs to cause repetitive burning damage. Chlorine is a blistering agent, known as mustard gas in World War I. The new bleaching methods just repackage the hazard in chlorine derivatives. Even in the chloride-free process, it might use recycled chlorine-treated papers. And the peroxides are just as harmful. Even though inhaling the burnt paper, glues, and plastics of the container represents a greater hazard, an honest conversation is blocked because chemical confusion within the modified and treated tobacco is needed to protect the commodity. Imagine curing cancer. The tobacco companies are supported by and feed a conglomerate. Drug manufacturers and developers. Building expansions. Secondary facilities such as security offices, cafeterias, sanitation. Commercial and individual devices for testing. application and disposal, shipping and storage of all these products and materials, and many defense firms, to name a few supporting industries. They all exist under the union umbrella, which would implode at the loss of tens of millions of workers directly fighting cancer and indirectly supporting the effort. All these companies pour money into the campaign coffers of politicians, who look the other way to protect the multi-trillion-dollar industry. Instead of looking at cancer as a commodity, the medical industry should accept it as the fungus that it is, from spore propagation to growth. Cancer mimics tissues to tap into the body's natural biological functions, and it has a big appetite. Our bodies can handle bases better than acids. An alkaline solution of baking soda cures many ills, including killing fungal infections. Combined with vitamin A and palm oil, it treats acne, another fungus. However, vitamin A is a poison. It is not clear how much is too much. The greatest hazard is potential liver damage, but it requires enormous, persistent doses. A solution of vitamin A supporting fully dissolved baking soda can be injected directly into the cancerous node, which acts like a sponge, devouring the majority of the mixture, protecting the body from an overdose. Vitamin A leakage into the bloodstream will be at tolerable levels and hunt down cancer spores, exactly like chemo without the general destruction of all the parts you want to keep. The medical industry is only interested in treating cancer, because curing it puts tens of millions out of work, which makes these guys look really bad, ending a multi-trillion-dollar gravy train. Cancer is too big to cure.